Hi, I'm Dr. Mike, host of the free iTunes podcast, Psychiatric Secrets Revealed with Dr. Mike, but that's not why I'm here today. I'm here to talk about another Saving Savvy episode, this time about the Magic Jack Voice over Internet Protocol device. This is a $40 device which includes $20 towards the first year of telephone service. So it really is a $20 device. And I'm sure you've seen the infomercials on TV where they claim that this is as good as a regular phone for a fraction of the cost. Well, let's see if it is or not. Okay, here we have a very simple Magic Jack setup. This is a very simple netbook, HP Mini 1000, so it's not a very powerful computer. Here's the Magic Jack, and here's an ancient cordless phone that we had in our basement. And this is running wireless at this point and on battery. So let's call someone and see how it works.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How does this sound?
It sounds very clear.
Yeah, you sound very clear too. So how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it, and it worked pretty well. I didn't have any problem loading the software on 2 different computers, and I tried using the Magic Jack on at least 3 different networks, including a hotel network, and everything worked just fine. In fact, about 95% of hotels will allow voice over Internet protocol on their Wi-Fi networks. I did do some research on the internet, and I tried to see where people were having problems, and typically it involves security issues with their computer or with their router. In other words, the firewall was not set properly. Sometimes I imagine you could also have a software conflict or just the typical things that you would have installing any software on a computer. But if your computer is pretty average, it should be able to run Magic Jack. There is a help forum on the Magic Jack site that I think is pretty poor. There is a forum which I'm going to list in the bottom right here, and that's not that's kind of an unofficial site, but it's very, very helpful. Definitely the place to go if you're having problems with your Magic Jack. So how can you use your Magic Jack to save money? Well, just use your imagination. For instance, if you wanted to keep your landline phone, you could use the Magic Jack phone for long distance and eliminate those charges. If you had a cell phone and if that was your principal phone number, you could reduce the minutes package, supplement that with the Magic Jack phone and save money that way. I certainly have taken the phone, as I said earlier, to hotels, and by using the Magic Jack, I really save on my cell phone bill, and you know what? Who wants to use those hotel phones at those exorbitant rates? So just think about different ways to use it, and you'll start saving money. So can you use your Magic Jack as your primary phone number? It's important to realize that the most reliable phone is the one that uses a regular landline and a corded phone attached to it. Any deviation from that will make a phone less reliable. Magic Jack has 3 areas of vulnerability. 1, it uses AC power. 2, it uses the internet. And 3, the most vulnerable part, it uses a computer. Now we talked a little bit earlier about some pitfalls that you can have with your computer, but you also can have simple pitfalls like maybe one of your kids turns it off. If the computer is off, Magic Jack will not send or receive phone calls. However, the voicemail will still work and you will be able to receive messages. You just won't be able to send or receive them live. By the way, when it comes to the voicemail, one really cool feature about it is that it actually sends you via email a little voice file of the voicemail, so you can actually listen to voicemail on the internet if you're anyplace else. One elegant solution around some of these problems is to use something called a thin client. So at least probably many of you are probably asking, what in the world is a thin client? A thin client is basically a very stripped down computer that corporations use to talk to their servers. It's typically very small, as you can see in some of these pictures. But the real secret behind it is not its size, it's what's inside of it. So here's a picture of a typical thin client. Now looking at it, you're probably saying to yourself, this looks like a computer. But what's important about this is what you're not seeing. First of all, there's no big optical drive using power and spinning in there. In fact, there's no hard drive spinning in there. Everything is done on flash memory. You also don't see a big power supply because a thin client runs on very little electricity, about 1/10 to 1/20th of a regular PC. In fact, a thin client uses about as much electricity as a nightlight. You're not going to see any fans or other things because thin clients run very cool, so they're completely silent. And if a thin client is set up properly to use MagicJack, you don't even need a monitor or a keyboard. So it's basically just this little device that you can tuck in a closet or perhaps put on a shelf someplace. Let's look at how we can set up a thin client to use MagicJack. This first picture is kind of your traditional setup with MagicJack connected to a computer. In this second picture, we still have the internet connected to the computer, but MagicJack is no longer connected to the computer. It's using the thin client as its host. And because of that, you can turn off the computer, you could run complicated programs on it. That's not going to affect your MagicJack at all, and your MagicJack can be on 24/7 because this thin client uses so little power. If you want to make it a little more robust, there's nothing stopping you from adding something like an uninterrupted power supply to the setup, and now if you have short power outages, the whole system will continue to work. If you'd like to actually set up a thin client, there's a couple ways to do it. If you go to this address down here, this is the unofficial forum again, there's people that will tell you what type of thin client to buy and then how to set it up. But a much easier way is just to go to eBay and buy one. These are usually thin clients that have been specifically set up to work with MagicJack, and they typically cost between $50 and a little bit over $100, with the average price being $70 or $80. Naturally, the more you pay, the little classier the client you get, but they all seem to work. And with those units, it's simply plug and play. So there you have it, my review on MagicJack. It really is a very amazing little device and really reasonably priced. But the greatest thing about it is the low yearly rate of only $20 or less if you buy a bigger package per year. So where can you get that? I can't think of any other place where you're going to get a phone bill as reasonable as that.